Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the podcast. All right. On today's episode, I have a really special guest and a friend of mine. Her name is Brittney England, and she is a nurse by trade. And she also is the owner of Total Infant Care. Is that correct? Did I say it right?
Yes.
Yes. And so hi, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, you're welcome. Okay, so how Brittney and I met is we met in this year. We met this year, 2025, and we met inside a mastermind. So we're both in the same mastermind for, to grow our business and our life and stuff like that. And so we connected, and we've just connected ever since. And I wanted to bring Brittney on because she went through an experience of selling her house. And it started off as like not a great experience. As some people will be like, yeah, like selling a house isn't easy kind of thing. But it ended so beautifully. And she did this with the help of a little statue. Show him the statue. Show him St. Joseph.
St. Joseph, here he is. Literally like 3 inches tall, maybe.
Yes. So here's what happened. Brittney's I'm gonna pass over to Brittney in a minute, but she's gonna tell her story, and it's really, really powerful. So I wanted to bring her on. So, there's another story being told. It's not always just me that are having, all of these successes or these fun stories and all that. But she sold her house, and with the help of St. Joseph, which is that little statue that she freaking bought off of Amazon, right?
Yeah, Amazon.
That's where you told me. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. And anyways, so tell us who you believe St. Joseph is.
Okay, so first of all, kind of non-disclosure. I am Christian, but I am not Catholic. So all the saints, I mean, I know that lots of people believe in them, and which is great. I just don't know a lot about them. So this Saint Joseph.
I'm Catholic.
Okay, you're Catholic. Great. So I am not, and I had no idea who Saint Joseph was, what he did, anything. And when we put our house on the market, April 29th of 2025, one of my neighbors actually, when she was walking by, she's like, "Oh, did you bury a Saint Joseph?" And I kind of blew her off a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, okay, I don't really know what that means. Didn't really think anything of it. Come the end of July.
Okay, but wait. Okay. So first off, Brittney lives in a beautiful home. Okay. So we're going to take back. She was moving states. She's in America. And I'm in Canada. So she was moving states. So it was a really big move for your family, right? Yes. Like you were moving. Where did you live?
We lived in Durango, Colorado, which is like a mountain ski town, very touristy. We lived in a beautiful townhome.
Turnkey, brand new.
Turnkey, less than 3 years old. Beautiful mountain home for anybody that, wants an easy getaway, all the things. Like there's no reason on the planet this house shouldn't have sold quickly.
There you go. Yeah, that's what I wanted to go back. Of you weren't trying to listen, selling a house is hard. We were selling at the same time as you. So that's how we also bonded of oh my God, I'm going through the same thing.
Yeah.
But yours was a beautiful home, needed no work. It was almost brand new. Okay.
Yes. So, it had been on the market for several months. We were trying to get out of Durango, move to Texas. That was our ultimate family goal for this year. My girls were getting ready to go back to school. My husband was trying to figure out jobs, all the things were happening. And we were like, what are we going to do? If we do not sell this house soon, we're going to need to stay here another year. I got to enroll the girls in school. All the things were coming down to this, okay, God, what are we doing? Like, seriously, what are we doing? So on July 29th, I was at work and I had a patient, and she said to me, "Oh, honey, did you buy a St. Joseph and bury him?" And I was like, "What? The what is St. What?" She was like, "You got to go on Amazon. It's worked for us 5 out of 5 times." And I was like, "Okay." So literally, I get done with my patient. I go out to the nurse's station and I'm like, "All right, what's this St. Joseph thing?" I think it was like, what, $10 or something?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
seriously, nothing. Like, nothing. And I was like, whatever. At this point, like, I have nothing to lose. I just need to sell this dang house.
Because you were going through, like, for months, you were trying to, like, get more eyes on your property, as well as the realtor doing her job and stuff. But you were just like, listen, like, I'm moving across country. Like, this needs to sell. And you were so stressed out.
So stressed out.
'Cause
I
we
had
would,
another
like,
job. Like, I had already told my boss that I was leaving at some point, but I didn't know exactly when. I had a job waiting for me here in Texas. We had a contract on a house in Texas.
oh,
That
yes.
we were like, we had to extend it for a couple days. Like, I think it expired like the 29th of July or something. So like there was that, and we're like, what do we do? The builder down here was like, are you gonna buy it or not? Like, but we had to sell our house in Colorado in order to buy this one down here. So it was just so many moving parts.
Yeah.
So I ordered St. Joseph. It came with this little prayer, and the prayer was very I don't even know what the right word is, but it was a very like kind of a methodical type prayer, very like Shakespeare-esque. And I was like,
Yeah,
all right,
yeah.
this. So basically the idea is you get St. Joseph, you bury him in like around your home, and you say this prayer every day for 9 days. And it will help you sell your home. I did a little back research on St. Joseph, and he was Jesus's earthly father. He was also a carpenter, and his job was to provide shelter for his family. So that's a little background on who
That makes sense of why, yes, he would
offer help to sell this house.
Yeah.
So I get St. Joseph on July 30th, and I bury him in the dirt. That afternoon, we have a showing.
Which, how many showings in 100 days had you had?
3.
There we go. Like, I'm telling you, like, this isn't just like, oh, just go buy it. Like, she had went through months and months of like no showings. Like, everything was just okay.
It was silly. It was so silly. And so when I buried him, I literally said a prayer at that moment, and I was like, God, humor me. Like, humor me in this situation. Like, I literally have nothing else to give. Like, I need to know, I need some answers. Humor me in this situation. So the people come, they see the house. They were there 15 minutes, maybe. It wasn't a huge house, but maybe 15 minutes. We could see on the Ring door camera when they left that, yeah, totally. We were totally like, okay, they're the right demographic, because our neighborhood was a lot of like what we call snowbirds, where they come to the mountains for the summer and then they fly south for the winter and go to Arizona or Texas or Florida or whatever. So it's kind of a specific demographic of people, mostly retired, that kind of area. We're like, okay, check, right demographic. When they left, though, they didn't stand in the yard. They didn't turn around and like look at anything. Nothing. Like, no signs whatsoever that this was,
they were interested, where they were looking out at and going, okay, I like this. Look at this. This could be our home.
Right. None of that happened. Like, literally, they walked in and they walked out. And I was like, okay. My husband texts me the next day at work, and he says, you're never going to believe this. And I said, well, what do you got? He's like, it wasn't full price, but it was good enough. We got an offer, cash, 30-day close. Do you want to move to Texas? Like, yes or no? because like, if we're doing it, like, we got to sign this and you need to quit your job today.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, whew, okay, God, funny joke. So we did. We flipped the switch. I told my boss that day, I quit my job. Like, I couldn't even give her 2 weeks notice because the girls needed to start school and it started a little bit earlier in Texas. So this happened all on July 30th.
A day after.
The day after I buried St. Joseph. I didn't even tell my family that I buried it. We were all such on pins and needles, and my husband would have just rolled his eyes at me anyway. And I was like,
no, I like it. I like it that you didn't. I like it that you didn't. I think that was really actually important. So people couldn't take or change that energy that you had put in.
Yeah.
For doing that. Yeah.
Yeah. Because like the energy was not great at our house. Like everybody was super stressed. And I was like, whatever, humor me, Lord. And I just stuck him in the dirt. And so, yeah, I quit my job July 31st. We took a quick lap around to say, love you, see you, bye, to all of our family that weekend. We came home. I worked 2 more days at my job, which I had worked at this hospital for over 11 years. And I literally gave them like a 5-day notice. I was like, sorry, guys. Finished worked those 2 days. The girls and I packed up like what we could. And we left for Texas August 8th. So like literally like a week, not even a week. And we moved into a hotel for a month. Mm-hmm. And you
were waiting for the other house to close on in Texas that you had been.
But I needed to get my kids in school because they started the 12th or something. Yeah. And so I left my husband and our dog in Durango, and he packed up the whole house. And, you know, that was just kind of a wild ride of the moving truck wasn't big enough. So we had to get another one. And so it was 2 different companies. And then we got all down here. And this is not overly related to St. Joseph, but I think it's important to the story. As we came down here, we were in the process of getting all the finances kind of worked out. And our original plan was we were going to come down here and pay cash for a house. And the company that we were buying the home from, they had like a deal that they would pay all of our closing costs if we use this mortgage company. So we're like, oh, okay, we'll just use the mortgage company and then pay it off. Like whatever's fine, or we'll keep our cash, whatever we want to do. So we're coming down to the wire. The house in Durango is closed, done. We have the money, and the company that we were getting our loan from was like back and forth. It was a unconventional loan because my husband and I didn't have jobs down here yet. Mm-hmm. And so basically what happened was a impersonator impersonated our mortgage broker and was sending us fraudulent emails back and forth as our mortgage broker. So we were getting emails from our mortgage broker and we were getting emails from our fake mortgage broker. And so they called for the money, they called for the wire, and we sent the wire
to the frauds.
So we made a large donation of over $100,000 to somebody else's bank account. They called for the money on Thursday. The wire went out on Friday. The weekend happened, and it was Monday morning when we figured this all out. We were supposed to close, mind you. And they had already pushed our closing like 3 different times.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. So there was like so much stress, and like the feeling of that emotion of somebody violating you, stealing from you. I mean, over $100,000, like money that we had worked for years, was just like the biggest gut punch ever. Like it was like this shocky feeling that I've never felt in my life. And that was a challenge for sure, to figure out how we were going to overcome this. Like we weren't sure. The mortgage company dropped us because they're like, oh, let us know when that money hits your bank account again. We're like, no. we're praying that that money comes back to us, but nobody is giving us any hope. Like, it is gone. So they dropped us. So we were trying to figure out how we're going to buy this house. Like, we don't even have jobs down here. Like, nobody else is going to approve us. So we kind of scraped everything together. We talked to our builder. We kind of went back to the drawing board with our builder as far as, you know, since we were coming up with like basically a new deal, it was a cash offer at this point. They were unbelievably gracious to us. And we had enough money, we had enough cash to pay cash for our house. The blessing in disguise of this whole thing is that was our original plan. That was what we had talked about, dreamt about, coming down here, paying cash.
Mm-hmm.
If we would have paid cash and got stuck in that wire fraud,
Mm-hmm.
we would have lost, it like gives me chills, like everything. Like we would have lost hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And my dad's like, you can come back from 100 grand. Coming back from almost 700 grand is a little different story.
Yeah.
So what a blessing in this whole craziness that we only lost $107,000. Like,
Yeah.
that makes me want to barf. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, God saved us in that moment. And it was like being faithful in prayer and what we wanted. And St. Joseph played such a fun role in this whole thing that it came out so incredible. And I just continue to pray that like that money comes back to us somehow and that we can bless other people by it. That was just huge.
It's just circulating right now. For some reason, your money is circulating somewhere, somehow, and it's gonna find you as long as you believe that. But yeah.
And I wholeheartedly believe it.
Yeah.
And the funny thing about St. Joseph, as we were going through this story, is our neighbors were in a very similar situation, but she was pregnant with their second baby. They had a 2-bedroom home. They were trying to sell their house, like in our neighborhood too, same situation. They had a lot more showings, but like nothing. And she was like panicking. She's like, am I just gonna have this baby here? What are we gonna do? So I was like, no, you need to order St. Joseph. And she was like, okay. So she did. Like that day, ordered St. Joseph. The next day, they got an offer. It wasn't their favorite offer, and they had another showing. So they hung tight, and the showing the following day was another couple that heard that they had an offer. They came in, full price cash offer, 30-day close. The day after she ordered St. Joseph. And she calls me and she's like, you're never going to believe it. Yes. Then let me keep going.
Yes.
My sweet friend Karen was like, Brittney, I'm trying to sell my house. I finally got my house sold. I can't find a rental. There's like nothing to rent. What do I do? I was like, did you order St. Joseph? She's like, do you think he can help me find the perfect house? I was like, why not? So you told me that August 3rd, and I looked back at the dates. August 3rd, you told me this story. You ordered St. Joseph that day. August 9th was when you found the perfect house.
No, I think it was before that. I think I screwed up my dates.
Maybe.
No, that was when that
was the contract date.
Yeah, something like that. Because so I was selling my house the same time Brittney was, and we couldn't find a house to move into. We want a pool and all this stuff. So we were like, okay, it was literally getting down to the wire. I had like 15 days. Right. I was like 30 days out. And I was like, for down here, 30 days for fast closings, that's not really, we don't do that here. Right. Yeah. So it was like, okay, 30 days. That's like, so it was like 20 days or so. And I was like, okay, we are not going to be able to find a house. So we sold our house. Which took a while. But when I was looking for the house, it was about 15 days or so. And that's when I talked to you, and you were like, oh, you told me about St. Joseph. And I was like, screw it. I'm going to do it. Where do I buy it? And you're like, Amazon. And I told my husband, and he's like, really? You're going to buy St. Joseph off of Amazon? And I thought for a second, like, what am I doing? I'm going to buy them off Amazon. Like, this is,
Right?
oh my God. But then I
They're
was
not
like,
plastic. Like,
yeah. But then I was like, but where else do you get them? I don't have any. We used to have a Bible store like in the next town over that's no longer there. I'm like, our churches don't sell them. Like, I can't just go into the church and being like, hey, can I get a St. Joseph? I'm like, so logically, I'm like, so really, Amazon is the only place that I can get it. Okay, I'm gonna. And the same thing, I'm like, you know what? It worked for Brittney. So it is a little different because I had already just sold my house, but I used mine to find a new place. So we couldn't find a house to buy. So we were like, we will rent until we find the perfect house to buy. Well, it got down to about 15 days. My father would call me on the phone every day and he'd be like, did you find a house? Did you find a house? Did you find a house? And I'm like, no, not yet. Not yet. And he would like freak out. He's like, Karen, you're going to be homeless. You have children. I'm like, Dad, it's fine. It's going to work out. Like, I'm going to find a house. Like, I'm not going to be homeless. I just need to find the perfect house. And he was just like, then he started stressing me out. But this whole time I was like, no, I want to find, this is the house that I want. And I said what I wanted. I wanted a 5-bedroom. I wanted it close to the school. I wanted it in a nice neighborhood, like all these things, enough for my office, my husband's office, like just nice and open, like everything. I was like, this is just what I want. And there wasn't very many rentals in our home, like in our town. And the ones that we could find didn't allow dogs. And we have a very large dog. And they wouldn't allow dogs. So we were like, okay. So that is when I got St. Joseph from you, right? I ordered it off of Amazon. It came, I think maybe it came like 2 days later. So maybe that's where it was the day. So 2 days later, then I got it and I opened it. And then that's when I said my prayer. I said my prayer a little bit different. I just said like a prayer of like, listen, like I need to find a rental, but like it needs to be this. This is really what I want.
yeah.
And then the next day, so then I put it, I didn't bury it.
Okay.
I didn't bury it. It's so in the tradition, it says that you can bury it or you can place it somewhere like prominent in the house, like a mantle or something like that.
Yeah.
It's all around the intention behind it, right?
Right. Yeah.
So I didn't bury it because we're moving. So I placed it in my office. I had a mantle like this and I placed it on there with the prayer and just said, like, here we go, St. Joseph, like do your thing.
Yep.
Like 15, 14 days out. The next day I went and got my lashes done and I was talking to my lash girl and we were talking about like, she had just moved into this place. She was renting because she was going through a separation. And, I was like, where did you find it? Like, this is beautiful. And she's like, on Facebook Marketplace. And I'm like, what? So my realtor was looking for me. Like I was looking, could not find it. And then so that night I got home and it was like 10, 11 o'clock at night. And I was in my office for whatever reason. And I was like, oh yeah, I got to look on Marketplace. And I found like 3 houses. And I was like, oh. And then I called one and this one that I'm in, I couldn't go see it for like 2 or 3 days.
Okay.
And then I went and saw another one, and then the other one never got back to me. And I went to see the other one, and I saw it, and I was like, I think I'm going to have to take it because like there's just nowhere to go. But it was small. It was like older. Like it was not what I did not feel good in there. Then I came here and I walked in and I was like, we will move in. When can we move in? And she's like, oh, okay. You haven't even seen the whole house. And I'm like, no, I will take it. I've got like 14 days to and then it just so happened that we had already met years later. Our kids knew each other. They went to the same school. She was a realtor. Like it was the perfect house.
Yeah.
And I had been looking over the last, I guess, 15 days.
Right.
All right. And nothing. And I was like, the question is, do you allow dogs? And she's like, oh my God, I love dogs. Of course. And I was just like, oh my God, like, oh my God. And
Yeah.
so we found like the perfect house that we actually want to buy.
Yeah.
Like, we're like, let's not even look at other houses. Let's just buy this one.
Yeah. Which just start putting that out there that that's what you want and they're willing to sell.
Oh yeah. But St. Joseph 100% made that happen. Like I believe
Yeah.
that it was like when you were like, no, I'm like, you know what? It worked for Brittney and I'm going to have faith in the saints, right? Like
Yeah.
I talked to lots of people. You know what I mean? And they, they always come through, right? And
Yeah.
so this one, it was like God was just like, you know what? I have something better for you. You just have to wait.
Yeah.
Right? Exactly what he did for you. Like, listen, like it's all going to work out. Just there's something better. And then tell me about the other one, about our
Yeah.
friend Robert.
Yeah. So we have a mutual friend, Robert.
He's in the
And
same mastermind as us.
yes, he's in our mastermind. Him and his family, hopefully I'm keeping these details correct, but him and his family had like lived in a toy hauler, camper trailer situation for 10 years.
Mhm.
I think that's, yeah, 10 years. And so he had sent me this personal message in our mastermind group. And he was like, Brittney, I need to find the perfect realtor. Like, why are realtors so difficult to find? Like, good ones that ask you the right questions and what you need and what you want and what your vision is and like all those kinds of things. He's like, everybody just wanted me to sign a contract and didn't even ask what I wanted. And he's like, what in the world? And I was like, you know what, Robert?
But their dream was to buy a house for their family, right? Like,
Yes, that was their thing.
for a
And
while.
so I said, Robert, did you get a St. Joseph? And he's like, what's St. Joseph? So we went through the whole thing. And, I was like, I don't know. He helped me sell my house. He helped Karen find the perfect one. There's no reason that he can't help you find the perfect realtor to find you the perfect house. This was August 14th. So all of these stories like happened literally within like a month of each other, like all together simultaneously. We're all going through it.
Yes.
And having like that faith. So August 14th, I told Robert, and he literally 2 minutes later sent me ordered, done, and he messaged me August 23rd and he said, under contract. So like
Within 9 days.
Yeah, he found a realtor and the perfect house to like bless their family, which was
Actually, he was under contract within 9 days. So it definitely was like sooner like than
they
that.
found it. Yeah. So it was like wild, literally me, my friend Amber, you, Robert, like all within a month of each other. And like our plans of moving to Texas, this was 2.5 years of a dream. Like brings me to tears, literally, that we planned and prayed and lost jobs and sold businesses and hoped and wished and came to Texas and found a house and put an offer in, just like having faith in this season. 2.5 years, like trying to prep our girls. They're 11 and 13. Like that's not an easy transition either. Packing up our whole life. Like we've lived in Colorado our whole life to move across the country to do something bigger and better for our family was our ultimate goal. And what a wild ride it was. But like, it's so fun to look back now. I know the seasons are like, weathering the storm is something real.
Yeah.
And it felt long and hard and unsettling and all the things. And when I finally like relinquished control and be like, all right, humor me, God. Like, I don't know what else to do.
Yeah.
Literally just all the light switches started flipping on and doors started flying open. And I was like, whoa, okay, here we go. Like, we're going. And we did. We literally picked up and left. It was nuts. And we're in our new home now. And we're dreaming big dreams again of what's next for our family and what makes sense. And our girls, our youngest is thriving. She loves it. She loves being in a neighborhood with all of her friends. They all ride their scooters around. Our 13-year-old is figuring out life as a 13-year-old, but also as one who just moved across the country. Mm-hmm. So, you know, like that's a season of life that's challenging, no matter where you are. But after a move, like she's playing on a volleyball team and she's doing all the things and figuring it out. And it's great. Like we love it here. We love the neighborhood. We love the community. We love the people that we're surrounded with and are so, so excited to see what God's going to do for us here and how we can give back and love on this community. Like we're so pumped.
I can't believe that it like all happened the way that it did, but it all happened. You know what I mean? Like your dream was to move to Texas and there you guys are. You guys like, and you know, you guys you owned a ice cream shop. Like there was some like tough things that you had to do, like not just like kind of pick up, quit your jobs and go. Like,
yeah, we owned a liquor store and an ice cream shop, and they were both on the market for a year and almost 2 years. And so we sold the liquor store finally sold January of 2025. Mm-hmm. And then the ice cream shop kept getting pushed back to it was supposed to close like in June. They couldn't figure out like their finances. Their bank was all wonky, And so anyways, we ended up working. We were supposed to go to go see my parents over the 4th of July, and we still hadn't closed the ice cream shop. So we had like no staff. And so we embraced the moment, and the 4 of us went in there. My 11-year-old was running the cash register like a dream. I mean, she was insane on that thing. And my husband and myself, my daughter, who's 13, and then one employee, we like crushed it. The 4th of July weekend is the biggest weekend at the ice cream shop, like
ever,
all year long.
Yeah.
And the memories, like as frustrated as I was in that moment of like, why isn't this closing? You know, like, please don't let this fall through. The memories that we made in those like last.
I think you needed that. That's why you did.
You totally did. Mentally, physically, and financially. Like our girls needed that. My husband needed to see that joy. Like, I think that's what has lit his spark again, like being here. Buying and selling businesses is not for the faint of heart. Like it is tricky. There's a lot to it. Transferring a liquor license is like enough to make your head explode. But yeah, so we had like, okay, we got liquor store closed, and then like the ice cream shop, is it going to close? Is it not? Is it, you know? And then what about the house? Like we put the house on the market last because we thought it was going to go so fast. I mean, everything had just been flying off the market for years.
Yeah.
I know. We put ours on the market and it was like, halt. And we were like, what is happening?
Yep.
So it was wild. And there was so much like faith that had to come into play, and just, God, this is what we want. This is the house that we want. This is the neighborhood that we want. This is the life that we want. This is you know, all the things.
Yeah.
And it was looking
pretty grim for a while.
It was looking so grim. And we were just like, you know, my husband had borderline lost faith, and he was just like bitter and angry. And I was like, okay, God, you and me, what are we going to do here? Like all the things.
Yeah.
So it was a wild ride for sure. And I know that our story is far from being written here. But what a journey it has been. And I love that St. Joseph is a part of it, because it just like, sometimes you have to laugh through the storm, you know, like, yes, there were moments of tears and frustration and anger and all this stuff. But when I like released that and was like, okay, I can't control what's happening. I can't control my kids' emotions. I can't control my husband's emotions. All I can do is control my emotions and the way that I'm going to react to this situation.
Mhm.
And I've had 2 people now tell me that I should order St. Joseph. So humor me, Lord. Let's order St. Joseph. Like, whatever. Let's do this.
Mhm.
And then everything just started falling into place. And it has such like a sweet, I don't know, like memory to the whole story. It's like
Oh,
crazy
for sure.
chaotic as it was. Like St. Joseph just brought this like this fun, this lightheartedness, this newfound faith a little bit in me. And it's become such a fun part of our story. And I just love it. Like, who would have thought that this little
I
3
know, show them up close. Let's see. Look, guys, that's St. Joseph. If you're watching this, then you can see it. If you're
Yeah,
listening, just go onto Amazon and type in St. Joseph statue, and it's like cream color. It's like
yes,
plastic. Like it's
yes.
like, how big is it? Like,
Literally like 3 inches,
yeah,
maybe.
like,
St.
but
Joseph sells homes and it will pop right up and like
yes,
like everything. And I
yes,
just put them in a Ziploc bag and stuck them in there. And then it does say, like, once you sell your house, like Karen was saying, like, you dig them back up and you take them with you and you put
yes,
them on a mantle. And
yes.
like every day that I walk in, like, this seems silly that he's in my closet, but our master closet has this little walkway, and like up above our clothes, I have like a big wedding picture, and then I have both of my baby casts that I did from like when my girls were babies. I did belly casts, and I have those setting up there. And it says every love story is every love story is beautiful, but ours is my favorite. And I just set him right there. I was like, this is our like story. And so every morning when I walk into my closet, I see him, and it just makes me smile. Like next to my wedding picture and our belly cast, and just like this is our story. And it's just like so fun that we're like living our dream in Texas. And he just makes me smile like every day. And he's nothing special. Like I said, he's made out of plastic and he has like a goofy face.
I know. Oh man, it's so powerful. He's so powerful. Also, our belief is so powerful too,
So
right?
powerful. 100%. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So if if you have St. Joseph and you go to do all the things and you actually don't believe that it will work, and you're just like, let's just try it, but you don't believe it, then 100% it's not going to work.
Yeah,
Right. Like you have to
totally.
have faith and you have to have belief in that while you're doing it.
Yep.
And then St. Joseph is like, yeah, like here.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was kind of interesting in this season. Like I'd go to church, and we were going through Exodus, and it was like Exodus like 13, 14, 15, 16, somewhere in there, where they part the Red Sea, and then all of the slaves are finally free from Egypt. And then they're like, well, God, are you just going to starve us out here? And he like rains down the manna and the bread, and, says like, only take what you need. And that part of like the whole story of like being freed, and like the parting of the Red Sea, like everything like happening, it was so real to me, like in a way that the Bible hadn't come alive to me before. Like I was like living that, like being, moving out of Colorado to Texas, and how am I going to get there? And then everything happened with the wire fraud. And like it all came back to me, and the whole like the raining down of the manna, and God telling them like, only take what you need. We had enough. We had enough to pay cash for the rest of our house, to get the home that we wanted. And we just have to trust that like God's going to provide the rest. Like, yeah, we would have been in an amazing spot if we would have had that extra 107 grand, but we don't right now. And so that just like came full circle to me and to my heart of like, he's going to continue to provide for us in this season. And he gave us enough, just enough that we needed to, fulfill our dream of being here and still getting the home that we wanted. And so I'm so excited to see how this journey continues to unfold, because I know in my heart that God will continue to bless us. And our beautiful tithe that we donated so generously to somebody else's bank account is going to come back to us. And we're going to be able to bless so many other people having that faith to move forward and to keep showing up is really what it comes down to. And that was something that our pastor shared with us in the very beginning, like in a church plant that we helped kind of plant in Durango. Was one of the things that he said was keep showing up. Like, I think that is such a huge reminder to all of us every single day. Like, if you are just pouting and down in the dumps, like every single day, your life isn't going to change. You have to show up every single day to have faith, to believe, even if it's the size of a mustard seed. That's all we need. Like, to grow into a mountain instead of shrink into a grain of sand. Like, that's all we need. This faith the size of a mustard seed, like literally. And it's sometimes easy, and sometimes it is so hard. So hard. And dark and lonely and empty and all the things. But I just encourage people to keep showing up, even when it feels yucky and messy and rainy, and you've been on a journey for 2.5 years and you don't even know which way is up and what you're going to do. Like, just keep coming. Just keep coming. Like, keep showing up and throw some fun in the mix, get yourself a St. Joseph and just have a little extra faith. And I think it did. Like, it lifted my spirits just enough to like have something that was out of my comfort zone in the mix. And it worked out beautifully. It really did.
I have a friend that is selling, she is selling her house. She's going to get ready next week or the week after. It's going to go on the market. And I already have in my notes to bring her before, like when she's preparing her house, like I'm going to go help her paint. So when I go over and help her paint, I'm going to be bringing her her own St. Joseph. I'm not giving her mine. I'm going to buy her own, and I'm going to let her say her prayer and do all of that with St. Joseph, because she wants her house to sell very, very fast. And so St. Joseph is going to help her do it. And that's just going to be like another story. So I would suggest anyone who's looking to sell their home or buy a home, or like, because you were selling, right? And, I was looking for a home and it worked for me. So have the belief. I'm telling you, go to Amazon and buy a St. Joseph. Just type in St. Joseph statue and cream colored 3 inches. I think mine was like $10, $15.
Something.
I don't know, something like that. And I'm telling you, it like saved me, saved you, saved Robert, saved your neighbor. It's going to save your friend. So thank you, St. Joseph.
That's right.
Well, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your, sharing your experience with St. Joseph, because I, not so much just, about St. Joseph, but the whole thing about belief and faith and all that stuff. And guys, anything can happen. You can live your dreams. Like, you were dreaming it for 2 years. You wanted to go and purchase a house in Texas for cash. And at the end of the day, that's exactly what happened. Like, that's exactly what happened.
Exactly what happened. We did it.
Very, very specific on exactly what you want. But that's exactly what you want. Like, that's what you wanted, and that's exactly what you got. And St. Joseph was just this extra belief to give you of like, Brittney, I'm on my way. Like, it's happening. Just, you know what I mean? Yeah.
And I just think to make sure that you're like present in the story, and that I can almost guarantee you it's not going to go the way that you think it's going to go. I didn't think that I would end up trying to do a mortgage so that I didn't have to pay, $15,000 in closing costs to lose $100,000 and then pay cash. I didn't have that written in the script, like 100% no. But that saved us from losing everything. Like
Yeah.
everything we would have had if we would have got caught in that paying cash for the house. I
Yeah.
also highly recommend not wiring and doing a cashier's check anytime that you can. Like that is so much safer.
Yes.
But you know, you live and learn. And I 100% believe that like God was saving us from losing it all.
Yeah.
So,
100%. 100%.
you know,
100%.
it's not going to go the way that you plan. So just buckle up and be, you know, in for the ride and the journey, but enjoy the ride. I mean,
All going to work out. It
yeah,
always
it's all
does.
going to work out. It always does. And you're going to have a massive like testimony once you get through the storm. And like
Yeah.
ours hasn't even ended yet, you know, like we're still here. We're still alive. We're still thriving. And we have like a whole new chapter in the England Chronicles to write now, which is amazing. Like we're
Yeah.
so excited.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, just keep showing up and keep that faith and buckle up because it's, you know, a wild ride for sure.
A wild ride, but a good ride. All right. Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay. If you have a baby, and you need some infant care, Brittney, she owns Total Infant Care, and I will get, all of her links where you can follow her and stuff. And what she specializes in, like, if you are like a new mom,
Pregnancy,
you are,
sure. Pregnant
yes,
mom.
pregnant mom, you're going to be a new mom, like definitely go follow Brittney, because I wish I had Brittney when I was a new mom, like 11 years ago, like knowing what to do, because they just give you the baby and they say, see you later.
Yep.
So Brittney will definitely help you walk through that. So yeah, so she's the owner of Total Infant Care and she is a registered nurse. So yeah, go find her. I will get all her info after this and drop it in the show notes. All right, my friend, I will see you soon. And
Thank you so much for having me. This has been
you're
so fun.
welcome. Awesome. All right. Bye.